Hi, my name is Roxana. This is Avid Diva, and as you know, we are working on starting a business. Today, we're going to talk about sources for income. Now, I have a little visitor, quote unquote, here. This is a porcelain doll known as Springtime Victorian Lady by Elsie Massey. She is very pretty. She is porcelain. She's not that tall. She is a little dirty, I'm not gonna lie. She was actually displayed in my other, when I had a home back, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And I don't want to clean the dress because I am not an expert on any of this stuff, and I don't want to ruin the dress. So I'm hoping that the person that gets her actually knows what to do with her. But the reason why I bring her to the video today is because I'm about to post a picture of her pretty much everywhere on social media, because it's one thing to say you want to do something to get money, for seed money for your business. It's another thing to actually do it, and I have been stumbling for weeks ever since I saw that Gary Vaynerchuk video about making $20,170 for 2017 on eBay or online. And I've been struggling trying to figure out how to do it, because although I'm not planning on shopping and then selling stuff on eBay as a business, I did think it was a great idea to get some seed money for the business that I do want to work on, that I'm starting from home. So what I decided to do was to start looking for all the things that I have that I can sell, and I have spent 4 or 5 weeks doing that, and I have some stuff I can sell, but for some reason I'm stuck. And today I was reading from a friend, an online friend, and her journey, and I told her I think I'm stuck because I've been mourning and trying to survive instead of thrive for all this time, and now I've been struggling for so long with my father's death and my mother's illness and all this other stuff, that I'm stuck on neutral, I guess is the easiest way to say it. And so because I'm stuck on neutral, I know what I have to do. I know what I want to do. I'm just not pulling the trigger for this. So today I said, you know what? The best accountability partners are you guys. So what I decided to do was to make sure that this video goes out today, which is May 16, 2017, to force me to start selling my stuff. Because, and here we go, one of the ways that you can start making money for your seed, for seed in your business, is selling your stuff on eBay. And I don't mean go out, buy a bunch of stuff and sell it on eBay, because you just defeated the purpose. I am saying, look at the stuff you own at home and start selling whatever you think you can sell. In my case, I have a gazillion books, magazines I'm not gonna sell, books, dolls, porcelain dolls. I have collector plates. I have a bunch of stuff that it's not being displayed because we live in apartments and I don't like to make gigantic holes on the walls. And the paintings, I don't have a problem with hanging them, because if the glass shatters, I can just buy another glass. But in the case of collectibles, I don't want to hang them and then they fall and they break. So what I decided to do was document everything, because that way I have kind of a scrapbook of the things I used to own, and then sell them online. So she's the first one I'm going to sell. I'm going to post her picture here in a few minutes. And I just wanted to take advantage of the situation, make myself accountable by filming this video saying that today I'm going to post her for sale, and then go ahead and see what other things I can sell around the house and just start posting pictures as I go along. Now, as far as eBay, which is the #1 way of selling them, I am saving eBay for most of my stuff, but there's things that I'm not going to sell on eBay because there's no point. I have a Barbie collection that I am going to sell on eBay. I have other porcelain dolls that I'm going to sell on eBay. But I wanted her to force me to start putting stuff online. Whether it was on swap meet sites on Facebook, whether it's Lego, anything online. I have to start somewhere, and I decided to start with her. As far as other ways of making money, we all know there are many, many ways to fundraise online. The most common would be crowdsourcing. Now, there are certain options here, and as we know from recent events in YouTube, a lot of people are creating Patreon accounts and providing other content in order for you to basically finance them for however many months you decide to finance them. That's an option. The other crowdsourcing would be like Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and all that other stuff. Now, there are a lot of people that are skeptical of investing or donating to people because of events that they've seen online, scams and all that stuff. But I think the idea behind a fundraiser of any sort is always a good one. You just have to prove to people it's worth it. And, you know, whatever you decide to do with the money, make sure that you say it from the beginning so that there's no doubt. And if anybody questions you, you can always take a screenshot and say, no, I said I was going to do this, and this is exactly what I'm doing, so I didn't scam anybody. And another option, of course, there's always the option, and keep in mind that the options I'm giving you are options that do not involve a bank, because if your credit is not the best, or if your credit is compromised at this moment, let's say you have a house and you have a car payment and that sort of thing, banks are not as keen on giving you money when you have other obligations, because they're concerned that you're not going to pay anybody because you're going to borrow more money than you have. And of course, you don't want to, and plus you don't want to put yourself in a situation like that. You might think you have the money to afford it. What happens if you lose one source of income and now all of a sudden you have all these bills, and you put yourself in harm's way? So the options that I'm giving you don't put you in harm's way. Obviously, there's always having friends or family to help you. Some people like to use their credit card balances to, and then I'm not gonna lie, I have used my for some of the supplies that we need in the house, I have used the credit card to be able to finance certain things, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. Just keep in mind, stay within your means so that you don't feel overwhelmed or end up using your profits to pay off all the other bills. That's really important. In my case, I'm going to start selling everything that I can possibly sell. We have way too much stuff in this house anyway, and that seems to be something where nobody is going to feel like they've been taken advantage of, because they are going to get something for their money, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm also considering fundraising because we want to make, one of the things we want to make is a documentary, and if I get the approval to make the documentary, because I have to ask for somebody's permission to be able to use some of the footage, I am definitely going to have a campaign so I can go ahead and get the funds to make that happen. If you have any other suggestions on how to make money without going to the bank, and of course legal ideas on how to get more money, just go ahead and leave it. Oh, I forgot. You can always do, you can always start with small jobs. If you already have, like in my case, I already have the EIN number, and I already have all my documentation in good standing for the business, so I can always start looking for little projects to get into it. And if you get hired for a project, or you get a little part-time job or something like that apart from whatever you're doing, that's another option. Now, if you're working full-time, you have to keep in mind that if you're already giving 40 hours to one thing and you decide to go for a part-time job, you're cutting on the hours that you have to invest in your business. So keep that in mind. You might want to do this in the short term. Like, for example, okay, the next 3 months I'm going to get a part-time job so I can have the seed money for the business. That's perfectly legitimate, and it's logical. So whatever works for you, just don't be discouraged if you can't, or you don't qualify for a loan from a bank. Just, there are other sources of legal funds that you can get, And the only other thing I would tell you is make sure that you verify with the laws of your state and of your city and of your county, if you have a county in your area. Because sometimes there are things that you want to do, but you're not allowed to do them in certain parameters. So make sure you take care of that before you start doing whatever it is that you're doing. In my case, I'm doing the equivalent of a garage sale. The only difference is I'm doing it online instead of actually putting a kiosk in front of my house and selling stuff. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I'm following the rules of the apartment complex where I live. So I am paying attention to those rules. Any other suggestions? Feel free to leave them below. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.